got a question for you moms out there. Have you ever wondered what other moms are going through? I mean, because after all, you're so busy chasing the kids and dropping off your daughter to soccer practice and making sure the husband finds his socks and making sure everybody's fed and blah, 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 that you may be wondering, is everybody else going through what I'm going through? Are they making the same kind of everyday sacrifices and tough decisions that I have to make? Are they just as confused and concerned about breastfeeding, lazy husbands, overbearing in-laws, all that kind of stuff? Well, you may be surprised, amazed, and even a bit reassured by what you're about to hear during this next hour on Rolonda, because we're taking a really close look at what moms across America are blogging. Now, what's really interesting about blogs, and some of us are just getting into even understanding what in the heck a blog is, but basically it's like Town Square where you can anonymously go and express yourself. And you would be amazed, like I said, maybe surprised and reassured too, by some of the things that moms are blogging across America. And what's really interesting is that when you blog, nobody knows who you are. So you can say whatever you feel and what's really on your mind. And I tell you, well, I tell you what, let's bring in the mommy blogger. That's what I call her. She's a great gal. Kristen Chase, welcome to the Rolonda Show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I tell you, I got to talk with you one time before we did this radio show, and I enjoyed you so much. You run a bunch of different blogs that pertain to moms.
I do. I started one, and then it just got so addicting that I couldn't stop.
And Kristen, tell me, what are moms saying out there in America? Because you say that when they're in a room behind a computer when nobody's looking, they tell you the real deal.
Well, yeah, I think it's amazing what anonymity can do in terms of, being able to share what we're thinking and how we're feeling. Of course, since I'm a mom blogger, it has a lot to do with motherhood, but certainly other issues. But boy, it runs the gamut. I mean, from, I think you had mentioned it before, the whole breastfeeding, formula feeding thing. I rant about my in-laws since I just moved in with them last week.
Oh, so, good for you.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, I'm still alive and kicking, but, barely here, barely.
So when you write on the blog about in-laws, what kind of responses are you getting? What are women out there, what are moms saying about their in-laws?
People love them. My in-laws are a rare breed, let's put it that way. However, people always seem to respond to the stories about my in-laws. And what's neat about the blog format is that not only are they saying, oh, that's really funny, or oh, poor you, which is sometimes what you need to hear,
Yeah, get over it, Irene.
Like, oh, you poor kid. But also then they'll tell me, well, hey, guess what my mother-in-law did? She charged me to get into my own family party. And then you say, okay, well, maybe my mother-in-law stringing up the Christmas tree for 2 days so that the branches don't flop isn't such a bad thing.
Yeah, you pick and choose your issues. We're talking with Kristen Chase, who has coolmompics.com, and she is, I would call her the ultimate mommy blogger. And so what we're talking about is issues that come up over the blogs and what moms across America are saying. There is a huge debate. I don't know if it's because of the celebrity mom phenomenon or what, Kristen, but you've got Gwyneth Paltrow and Brooke Shields and Kate Hudson and Kate Beckinsale and all these people who have come out and talked openly about their nursing experiences, and even the unsexy garments of the nursing bra. Gwen Stefani can be seen on babyrozzy.com sporting a so this has been a big issue, and people are really talking about it because there's such pros and cons about where you can feed your baby and or nurse them, and are you getting a lot of feedback on the blogs, and what are women saying? Are moms fighting? Because what I'm hearing about is there's this whole movement now called lactivism.
Oh, yeah.
Where women are fighting to be able to breastfeed wherever, whenever.
Right. Well, I think in my experience in writing about it, I breastfed for probably way longer than I thought I ever would. I figured if she could almost say it in French, it was probably time to stop.
Yeah.
But
like what was she, 5?
Yeah. I know she's, that's the ongoing joke, at least in my house. But, when it comes down to it, most of the people that I've talked to have said, breastfeeding, breast milk, most women, I think it's like 70% of women, according to that New York Times article that they on breastfeeding, said that, women know that breast milk is better than formula. However, it really comes down to the support that women have. You know, it's not fun. It's not easy to do. And, you know, sometimes the kids don't take to it.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and I think what happens is that there's a lot of pressure now, I think, like you said, with sort of all these celeb moms, you know, really talking about how it worked well for them, that when it doesn't work for women, it can be really upsetting. And that's sort of when that other group of folks, I sometimes call them the boob brigade, come in and sort of say, hey, you know, you're a wimp, or, you know, you couldn't do it and you're not doing the best for your kid.